We know Elon Musk tweets a lot of funny things, but on July 15th, 2020, he made headlines for a different reason. He tweeted that he would double the amount of crypto you send to his Bitcoin wallet. Moments later, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Kanye West, Apple, and Uber posted the exact same tweet with the same wallet address. This was a clear sign that their accounts were hacked. But behind this massive hack wasn't a team of sophisticated Russian hackers. It was actually a 17-year-old Minecraft player who pulled off this colossal scam using simple tricks like calling telecom companies and sending emails. In this video, we'll dive into how a single mistake by his mom led him down a path involving scams, a homicide, and the largest cyber attack Twitter has ever seen. Meet Graham Ivan Clark, a teenager from Tampa, Florida, who attended Gaither High School. Graham was known for his expensive clothes, flashy watches, and high-end accessories. His peers couldn't help but wonder where he got all his money. His family wasn't wealthy. His parents had divorced when he was just 13, leaving his mom to work long hours to support them. So how did Graham manage to afford such a luxurious lifestyle? With his mother often away at work, Graham had a lot of free time. Instead of focusing on school or extracurricular activities, he turned to the internet for entertainment and eventually opportunities to make money. This is where his story takes a darker turn. Graham discovered Minecraft, a hugely popular game where players can build, explore, and interact on various servers. Minecraft's open world allows for creativity and social interaction, but it also attracts those looking to exploit others. Graham, using the online alias Open, started building a following on Twitter and YouTube. He presented himself as a friendly and trustworthy figure, gaining the trust of his audience. He sold in-game items and custom capes for real money, promising exclusive content. However, once he received payment, he would disappear without delivering the goods. His fans were left empty-handed and frustrated. Graham's scam wasn't a minor one. He used multiple accounts and platforms to expand his reach and deceive more people. As Graham's fraudulent activities continued, some sharp-eyed YouTubers began to notice. One YouTuber in particular decided to take action. He created a video exposing Graham's scams, sharing stories from victims who had been cheated out of their money. This video went viral, leading to widespread awareness about Graham's deceitful practices. Graham was banned from several Minecraft servers, cutting off a significant source of his income. But rather than stepping back, Graham chose to retaliate. He hacked the YouTuber's email and social media accounts, likely by hiring a hacker, as Graham himself lacked the technical skills for such an attack. Using these stolen accounts, he impersonated the YouTuber and continued to scam unsuspecting followers, causing even more damage. Graham's scamming spree didn't stop with Minecraft. His tactics evolved as he expanded his operations into the real world. He began to trick designers, video editors, and programmers. He would hire these professionals for various projects, but once the work was completed, he would refuse to pay them. This new phase of scamming showcased Graham's growing sophistication and ambition. The dark side of OG users. Graham Ivan Clark's entry into the hacking world began on a website called OG Users. This site acted as a marketplace for selling rare usernames from various platforms. While it promoted itself as a legitimate service, the reality was quite different. The usernames sold on OG Users were often obtained through hacking, and Graham quickly became a part of this underground market. At first, Graham used OG Users to sell Twitter usernames. This was his introduction to hacking, but he soon realized he could expand his operations. He learned about a hacking technique known as SIM swapping. The SIM swap scam. SIM swapping is a method where hackers take over a target's phone number. Since many accounts are linked to phone numbers for security, like two-step verification, gaining control of the number can give hackers access to those accounts. Here's a simplified version of how it works. The hacker tricks a telecom company into transferring the target's phone number to a new SIM card controlled by the hacker. This often involves social engineering, where the hacker pretends to be someone else or deceives an employee into providing access. Once the hacker has control of the phone number, They can reset passwords and access accounts linked to it, including email, bank accounts, and even cryptocurrency wallets. For Graham, the initial target was Twitter accounts with special usernames. However, he soon discovered the real prize: cryptocurrency. Access to someone's phone number could also mean access to their Bitcoin wallet, which was even more valuable and difficult to trace compared to traditional bank accounts. At just 15 years old, Graham transitioned from selling usernames to targeting high-value Bitcoin accounts. He used information from social media to identify wealthy individuals who flaunted their cryptocurrency holdings. Graham learned to use doxing.
Doxing derives from the word docs or documents, and it comes from the hacking culture of dropping documents. It's sharing someone's information online without their consent, and often with the malicious intent to attack them and undermine them. That could include, for example, sharing someone's home address, financial information, telephone number, intimate photos, private photos.
To find that information, doxers might go through search engines, social media histories, or data broker websites.
Once he had enough information, Graham would perform a SIM swap to take over their phone number. With access to their phone and email, he could breach their cryptocurrency accounts. Bitcoin transactions are nearly impossible to trace, making it an ideal target for thieves. The case of Greg Bennett. One of Graham's notable victims was Greg Bennett, a Bitcoin investor. On April 15, 2019, Greg noticed his phone lost network coverage while at his office. Shortly after, he couldn't access his email or Bitcoin accounts. Realizing he was hacked, Greg used an app to track his Bitcoin transactions and saw that funds were being moved to another account. Graham had stolen over $1 million worth of Bitcoin from Greg. Despite Greg's efforts to recover his phone number and freeze his accounts, he could not retrieve the stolen Bitcoin. Graham's greed didn't stop there. He sent a threatening email to Greg demanding an additional 50 Bitcoins, worth $250,000 at the time, to avoid further harassment. The internal conflict. Graham's greed led to internal conflict among the hackers he worked with. The stolen Bitcoin was divided between Graham and his partners, but Graham betrayed them by keeping a larger share for himself. The disgruntled hackers tried to contact Graham through Greg's email, threatening to expose him to authorities if he didn't share the loot. This betrayal put Graham in a precarious situation. The hackers he wronged began harassing him and even targeted his family, sending people to his home and attempting to intimidate him. The dark turn and the investigation. Graham Ivan Clark's life took a dangerous turn beyond his cybercrimes. He got involved in the world of drugs, trading in marijuana and narcotic pills. His connections in this world led him into serious trouble. In late 2019, Graham and two friends visited a drug dealer's house, carrying a gun. The exact reason for their visit is unclear, but it was likely related to a debt or a dispute. Graham waited in the car while his friends entered the house. When the drug dealer saw them, he opened fire, killing one of Graham's friends and severely injuring the other. Hearing the gunshots, Graham quickly fled the scene. When police arrived, they questioned the surviving friend, who mentioned Graham's involvement. Graham was brought in for questioning and admitted he was there, but insisted he had stayed in the car and didn't know what his friends planned. Despite discrepancies in his story and the evidence, the police could only confirm he was present in the car, which wasn't enough for charges. The incident led to Graham being expelled from Geither High School, ending his time there. He moved out of his mother's house and into his own apartment. However, authorities kept a close watch on him